So in this video we will see NextAuth. I will cut down all the unnecessary talks so that you can focus on the original content. Authentication in NextAuth is so easy and no one described in such a way that so in very easy to use, and it will be as much as HTML, CSS on JavaScript. You can see just you need not to do open account. You can use your Google account or Twitter account or any other account to log in. Npx create next app. So I will use TypeScript yes lint. I will use tailwind CSS, and I will not source directory. I will use app directory and app router. Yes and import. Okay, now it will take some times. Okay, now our project is ready. Now we are going to create next-auth, and here we have to pass the auth options. So what we are going to do here, we are exporting this thing here. Actually we need to pass an object here, and this object have provider or all the things like providers, and providers you have to put an provider array where a lots of providers like credential provider, like Google provider, like Twitter provider, and all these things. I will create this object in a different place and just export from that place. And here the main work is here in these options. I will export this like constant handler, and I will export it from here with get and post request. Export handler as get handler as post. We'll create another file which is the options auth options.ts. Actually here I will use the all credentials. First I will use email and password to log in, then I will show how to use Google provider or Twitter or another things. Auth options next auth options. This is the type provider, we need to pass a object here like name okay. So actually this is the default form which will going to create. I will show you in 1 minute, and when that form submitted, then this function will used. Actually this data is coming from the form, so we can user from. I'm simulating this like if we console log credential here, then we can see the form value is coming, and we can see in the backend this is the Nextjs backend. And suppose then we do some database work to see the user ID and password match all the thing, match user ID and password in this area. Then suppose we get back a user from DB, and this user is ID like one, name like just for indication that it is working from this place. Email email I will use this credential email, because this is the form data. This credential is nothing but coming from the form, from email and password. So I will use here, just I am building a user that it simulate that this data is coming from the database after matching all the things. So credential dot, so now we will return this user. So now this is the form. After fill this form, it will come this place, session. Okay, for some mistake just I do not give a comma and bracket mismatch, so it create problems. Now I what I have done, this is for login, and this is for after login. This request will be handled here, and after all this, provider will session here and session strategy 2. If we click control and space, then we can see the options. This is the beauty of the TypeScript. So now we'll run this app. So we will create .env file env file. Here we will pass next auth url equal to npm dev. So I will copy this URL. Actually, after login or logout, it will use this URL as a base URL. So it will redirect to this URL. You can say next auth secret. Here we will generate a long secret key, but for now I will pass 1 to 3. Nextjs or NextAuth use this secret key to encrypt or decrypt. So we can use a 64 base 24 bit long character, so it will secure. If we do not give it, then NextAuth give it by default for development, but for production we have to give it. So if we go to the pi auth sign in, if we go to this page, you can see this is the form that we build from this place. This is the form. If here is 2, if we give it 2 3 placeholder, you can see it will, you can see 2 3. So if we can change label also, enter okay, just we can just for demonstration purpose, you can see email okay. So this code is totally responsible for creating a form. Okay, after submitting the form, it will handle by this block of code authorize and make it authorize, and after come this into this place, we can console log here credentials, so we can see easily, and you can see this place we can see this user details. So we can just give any other mail 1. I give it a 1 login with credentials. So you can see this is the redirect URL. You can see we just now save it in env file. So you can see this is the credential that passes from the form, coming from the form, this form API sign in form. This form mail 1 mail come from this place, and you can see in the backend because it is the server. So after creating this, it will return this user, and it will handle by the next auth, and this is the basic version. We can see the token in any place. We can see the token. If we go to the developer option and application in session now we will create a auth provider like provider dot tsx auth provider, and session provider. Now we are accessing the server session. Children props children react node. Okay, So in the layout section we can wrap the children path provider, and so that we can access it from this place also. Server session, like in any page we can use session any console here, and we go to the and we can see the token by creating another API token export async function get function, and this is the request and type next request, and get token function we have to pass request, and we can store it constant token, and we just return as next response, return next response dot json token. So if we go to the place where API auth token, so now we can see the token. So by doing so we can access the two place where we can access the session from this client side and server side. We can see this token. We can use this function in any places like middleware or all other things. So so we can use that, and in cookie we can see the token, this token. So if I delete this from here, you can see this token is okay, and if I delete this token, then we can see nothing. But we cannot use this token and decrypt this token in any way. So now I will show. So the here is the flow is we can sign in from this form. This is default from and coming from the next auth. This is builded already. So now I will build another form where I will pass it and my custom sign in form, and then I will use that form also so signing options. So so this is like this, it is going to sign, and you can see like hello next auth to session dot data dot user dot name. So you can see the username. Now I do some common stuff in the I have created a navbar. This is the navbar code. Just use the session, and if the session is authenticated, then log out and the name of the user, and if not authenticated, then log in. So you can see it here, the username and log out. If I log out, then you can see login option. So now this page I will create this custom login page in my way. So this is added navbar. Now I am going to create a login page. Collapse it, login, and page.axx login. So first we check it, login. Now we are in login page. Login page has no menu, so we are going to use this menu into this place, like we navbar, and I am removing this from home page. Okay, this is the home page and this is the login page. Great. Now I will create login form, and you know it is just HTML, there is nothing, but I will show it from the scratch. Gap 3. Okay, and we give a wide max wide access. Good enough. We can give a ML 11. Okay, so this is our custom form, and we handle the submit on submit, handle submit, and we use handle submit function, event, that is the event of the from event. We can see from it this place, this is the doc attributes and from element. So we are going to use ht from element, and then prevent default, and then we use first grab form data, form data e dot current target. We just new now email and password, constant email equal to form data dot get email as. So we are using type password. Now we are console log email and password. First we will see this. I think we need to create it as a use. All font we have to use, create a use client. So if we console log the result, so we can see email and password is coming. So we can just forward this email and password to our backend. So backend means auth options. So here so if I called it option 1, step 1, this is coming, this is for form building, form building, and this is step 2, this is handle request coming from form. So this is responsible for request coming from form. Now 4 I am giving it 4 and email will be same email. Now we are going to put email 1 instead of 2, and if we submit this, so it will nothing happen. Now we have to pass this using next.sign-in function. So how could we do this? We just sign in. This is the next.auth function and credentials, email equal to email and password, and we redirect false. We make it false because I want to keep it this place and I want await. So we have to make it async. Okay, and we just keep it result constant result, and we just console log the result. Okay, so we are just created very basic HTML form. Just we take this form data and pass it to this sign in function, and credential will handle this handle. Here we do not need step 1, this step 1, just this request directly come to this authorize functions, and it will make this authorize, and it will set the username ID as a token. So later on how we see how can we change this token and do other things. Okay, so if we now put it, and yes, just it comes okay, error null, and we get status okay. So you can see the here is 4 because I changed it from this place. So what is the process? So this is a very basic HTML form, and I take all this data from the form, and then I pass this data to email and password, and using sign in form. This sign in form take this call to the second step, which is authorize, and then it will authorize the user and set user ID. So you can say we can use the database and fetch the data and match with ID and password, and then we can say if it is okay, then we can, otherwise we can return null. from this place you can see strategy is JWT. So this is the very basic implementation of the NextAuth. So here we have done one thing. Now I will show some advanced thing like session. We can validate this session like 10 second. So we are logging out and login. So after 10 second it will automatically sign out. See, just if you reload this page or if you go one tab and then come to this tag, then you can see after 10 second it will automatically log out. Yes, you can see it's gone. After 10 second it will gone. So by doing so we can set the time, and now I will show some callbacks where we can set JWT token user details like callbacks JWT token and user. Async if user we have to create some types. So for this is on types and next auth.d.ts. This is the convention we have to follow. Declare module next auth interface user is verified, user is verified or not, something like that. As I am just illustrating, nothing serious about it, just a property, just a random property, just what I in my mind I just put it here. Boolean, just I am giving another. So what is my main objective is that here I do not want to fetch data every time from the database. So I want to when I log in the user, then I want to fetch some data about the user and keep it in both place, session and token. So in any place what I need to access token or session, then I can get some level of data of a user, and all this data is encrypted, so no one can see this data. So it will be very interesting. And default session user, declare module next. I'm just duplicate it. Now it is for JWT token, JSON web token. Actually it is a JSON object where it is totally encrypted in the case of Next.js. Session JWT. Where ID is string. Okay, now so we can see the ID is coming from these places. This is the user and this is the user ID and password, ID and verification thing. So we are now going to use it here. Token.id equal to just we are pushing some data which is coming from the database to the token. User.id token dot name equal to user dot name token dot email equal to user dot email token dot is verified equal to user dot is verified token dot cc. Just it's a random property, just test for something. Token, so that we can understand this text coming from the token. Session dot user dot is verified equal to token dot is verified. Actually this is verified is coming from the database where it might be user is not verified or verified. So we can keep this data to the session, both session and the token, and we can access any place whenever we need. I am just illustrating the thing so that you can have solid understanding how Nextjs is actually work. Token dot name and session dot user dot email equal to to. This is the benefit of TypeScript, so that we can easily session dot token dot ccrr. So now we are giving a flag here so that we can understanding what is going on under the hood. From session, so this is coming from this text coming from the token and this text coming from the session. So what it will, here we have to return session from this function, return session. Okay, so I am breaking down the thing in another way. So this is the credential, this is for building only building form. If we create a custom form in our own, then we do not need it. After submitting the form, then it comes to step 2 and it is the authorized section where it just fetch that credential is the email and password which is submitting from the form, and this is actually use the database and check the user and password is match or not. Then it will come to this place, and just I am mimic a database, and this is the user, and I am just return that user data. This is cached by the callback function, and callback function here is it is the token and user. I put all the user data to the token, okay, and then another callback function, that is session for session, and where I put all this token data to this session also, and then I return this session. So now I am going to see what is going on, and this is for flag, and I am going to see what is going on here, and 22. And another thing, I am going to use a name Vishwas. Okay, so if I hit submit, then you can see this is coming from my name and this place. And if we go to the token, then you can see this is coming from the token, because in token when it is come this place, this is step 2, then it's come to step 3. Step 3, add data, I mean user data to token and session. So here only token is working, so you can see only token data. So if I want to see also session data, then this token data with this token CCR, and then it will be added to place. So you can see CCR, just it's not a property, you do not see property like this. Now I want to show you, sorry, I have to increase the time because it is 10 seconds now. I have to make it 10 60, so it's mean 1600 second it will mass time for me. Okay, so if we go to home page, and home page, I am just now want to see the session variable. Okay, so if we go to user data and user session dot data, so you can see CCRR, where CCRR it is from token, this text comes from token, and then after when it's I added, then it's from session, and this is the email and name on all these things. So you can see from the auth option after callback. So if we go to this, from this is from step 1, if we have custom form, then we do not need this. Step 2, then forms, after submitting the form handled by this function, and all these database work is going to be here in the base. And then after this, this is the session status, that is JWT and time of the session. After this time session will be expire, and then callback function where I will add this user data to token and session. And this is the thing we are going to do. And another thing we can add here, that is the redirect I mean URL and base URL, like async async and return to base URL and admin. Okay, so it will after login it will go to admin page. So that for this we have to create a admin page as well, and admin and page.tsx see admin page. So if we log out and log in, after login it will take to the admin page, it will redirect to the admin page. So because we redirect it false, for this reason it is not working. So we can make it redirect true, or by default it is true. Log out. See, after log out we are redirect to admin page, and after login we also redirect to this admin page also. So by doing this we can set redirect function also. And another thing I want to show you, if is this property and this is same, then we can remove it, and this and this code is same, this code is same, so we just do not need to duplicate the thing, and see, all happens. So this is the basic implementation of Nextjs and authentication token. If you need to log in like Facebook or any provider, then I will make a video. Please comment on this, and I will something like this. If we click on sign in, then we can sign in with any of app option like GitHub, and we can authorize it from this place. So we can sign in Google sign in, we can use this Google. This is very easy. We for this we do not need any ID and password. If you need this, please comment and I will make this video. So one thing last thing I want to recap what I am covering this. First I create an API, and then auth and next auth and route, and this route I am just taking this auth option here, just and one thing I can just copy all this thing and I put it here. This will also work, but this file is, there is nothing to worry about this. Just copy and paste, and then this auth options mainly work. So here what is going on, step 1, form building. This is only for forms, and then form data is handled by this function. It fetches the data from the database and authenticate the user and return the user details, and this is cached by this callback function. This callback function populate token and all the session, and then it return and redirect to that redirect URL. If I omit this, then it will go to the base URL, which is set in the environment variable here. And this is also important. And another thing I want to tell you, that which I have to mention it. So just copy this. Okay. So you can use this site. Okay, perfect. So everything is working. So if we go to our cookies, and then if we see auth session, we cannot just decode this session. Every user, all user data is here, but we cannot see it. we can only using by backend or server, otherwise we cannot see the session details. So if we delete this session, then you see everything gone. If we reload this page, yes, you can implement next-auth authentication into your backend. When you are going to use session, then you have to use client, because it is client side. But in any case you cannot see the session data or session details. So someone get your session but he cannot decrypt it, because it is encrypted with very hard encryption, and it is almost impossible to decrypt the session details or token details.